Hey everyone, One Big Boss here. Happy New Year to everybody. Anyone making any New Year's resolutions? Yeah. That's what I thought. Anyway, it's a new year and a new review for us. So to start the year off right, we're going to do a new review for the PlayStation 3. Episode 10 is called Bleach, Ressurecion. So, let's get to it. The game is developed by SCE Japan Studio, a branch of Sony Computer Entertainment. The company is most famous for its Ape Escape series, and the Siren series as well. I don't know if many of you have played that game, but it's a pretty good series. Anyway, another company that joined in was Ressurecion, if I believe that's what it's called, which has done works on 3 Fullmetal Alchemist games for the PlayStation 2, various Bomberman titles, Naruto, and Bleach Blade Battlers. Sadly, that was only released in Japan and never made it to America. The game itself is called Soul Ignition in Japan, but in America they changed it to Soul Ressurecion. Also contributing to the game is the opening soundtrack, which was done by Japanese rock band Sid. Though, due to licensing problems, the American version only had an instrumental opening, and honestly, I enjoyed the opening without the lyrics, because I've heard the song with the lyrics in it and everything, and personally I do like this theme better with the instrumental. It's actually one of the best Bleach themes I've heard in quite a long time, actually, and this series is known for having good opening themes. If you're a fan of the anime, and if you've watched all 358 episodes that have aired so far, then you'll understand what Ichigo Kurosaki and his friends are trying to do. And if you haven't, well, you're probably going to be lost, and wonder who half the characters are and what they're doing. To put it simple, Ichigo Kurosaki and friends try to defeat a defected captain of the Soul Society before he can create a powerful key known as the Oken. And pretty much, yeah, you're lost already, aren't you? It'd take too long to break down the storyline of Bleach, so we'll just move on for now.
Let's go!
Alright, ever played Dynasty Warriors? Good, then this game will be an easy learn for players. In general, the game is pretty easy to just pick up and start playing. Here's how it goes. You'll start off at the beginning of the level with an objection, and sometimes you'll be forced into battles at times that you cannot escape from. You'll have to keep playing them until you've beaten a specific target. You'll face a boss at the end of each episode as well. Also, collecting soul points is a big part of the game. This is how you enhance your character's attacks, defense, yada yada yada, all that stuff. You'll also utilize a grid system for leveling up your characters. Final Fantasy X, anyone? Well, at least you won't have as many spheres to fill this time. Simply choose whichever ability you want, and in turn that'll unlock another ability for you to unlock later on with the help of more soul points. Controls aren't too bad for the game either. They react very well and aren't confusing to learn. It's a really easy learning curve for this game. Mainly because the square button is your main weapon of choice and you're just going to mash the hell out of it to beat down enemies. You can also utilize other moves as well by pressing circle and triangle for much stronger attacks, which will decrease your spiritual pressure gauge, which will recharge over time, or by picking up the blue energy spheres you see. This is actually pretty good for when you're handling, trying to keep your kill streak going. Because the more enemies you kill and the numbers that go up, like how it says 59, 60, 61 here, the more soul points you'll earn, which will help you level up your characters quicker. You also can utilize a dash attack by holding the R2 button, which will cause you to dash far across the screen. You also have a double jump, where if you hit X twice, you obviously complete the double jump. The dash is pretty good too, because you can actually keep your kill streak going when you hit enemies with it, or objects as well. Another deadly weapon in your arsenal is the ignition gauge. When unlocked, your character will release their strongest finishing move. This feature is best saved for boss battles, though if you have to use it for whatever reason during the battles before the boss, you can always find red spheres throughout the levels to refill the gauge. Also, when using this mode, it increases your attack and speed, I believe, and it's pretty damn handy, I think. But if you're going to use it at all, like I said, save it for the boss battles, especially on the harder difficulties, because some of these enemies just get really brutal. There's a few modes added into the game as well. Obviously story modes, which consist of 14 short episodes, and mission mode and soul attack mode. These modes are pretty good. They feel the same at times, but it's a good way to level up all the characters you'll play as. I actually have fun doing this. It's better than playing the story mode because you can play as any character you want and just max out their stats to the end.
Let's go.
Okay, so as many of you know, sometimes video games based off of an anime aren't the greatest at times. You know, we've had a few in the past. So, what's the deal with this game? Well, since it's the new year, I'll change things up. We're gonna go with the bad news first. First off, the game is very short. 14 very short episodes in the story mode, and plenty of fan favorites and important characters are missing from this game, such as Captain Ukitake, Kaname Tozen, the Vizards, Isshin Kurosaki, and many others. Why this was done, I don't know. I mean, they went through a good chunk of the arc where many characters were introduced and finally got fight time. I mean, the roster of characters is good for this game. I do like a lot of the characters they put in, but more would have been welcomed by the fans of the series, especially since this is the 5th Bleach game to come to America. I mean, I have Bleach Heat the Soul 7 for the PSP. It's a Japanese game, but it's a fighter, and it doesn't take that much to understand fighting games and how they work. That one, I think it was 6 or 7, or are they on Heat the Soul 8? I don't remember which, but those have the biggest roster of characters. I mean, everybody is in that game. This one, unfortunately, lacked a lot of characters I would have liked to have seen. You know, maybe if there's a sequel to this game, we'll get more. Kind of like the earlier Dragon Ball Z Budokai games. But this one goes right to the end of the series, well, at least to the Aizen arc, anyway. So yeah, that's one of my main problems with this game, anyway. You know, I just wish that some other characters were put in for fun, you know, or DLC. Next up was the music. I don't feel that much of the music fit the Bleach world in this. Honestly, some did, but others I couldn't get into. I didn't feel the emotion that you get when you watch the anime, because you know from the anime and a couple of the movie soundtracks, some of those tracks are just epic. They make the series. Unfortunately, this game's soundtrack could have been a little better. Next up on my list was the character interruptions. Now, these cutscenes are pretty cool. They play out right, you know. I think they did a good job voicing them over. But as you can see during the battle here, other characters are talking to you while you're fighting. It's really annoying since they don't appear on screen at all, like some of the other characters like Orihime or Nell or anybody else that may be in the vicinity when this cutscene's taking place. Most of the time when the in-game cutscenes happen, you only see the two characters. That's it. Even if there are other characters in the area, you only see those two. It became really annoying because trying to listen and play at the same time, it just didn't work for me. For others it was alright, I guess, but I know this was a major complaint with a couple of the other reviewers like IGN and GameSpot. My final complaint with the game was that there was no two-player mode involved at all. In story mode or any other modes, it would have been nice to, you know, play this game with a friend or play online, especially if they're a Bleach lover. I mean, I don't know, I guess this could have worked because the setup is somewhat like the Tenkaichi Budokai games from Dragon Ball Z, like the view and everything, the locking on. I think it would have served this game well. I mean, like I said, I don't know if they're going to plan a sequel to this. I mean, it did get good reviews, so who knows. But I think some two-player mode would be nice, or, you know, a little online play to play with friends, or, you know, some kind of, like, score to upload to leaderboards. It would have helped this game, because, I mean, as much as you have the few modes of play and everything, it's not that challenging of a game at times. So, you know, playing it with friends just would have been better, because I know Bleach has got a huge following, and when an anime gets really popular, fans demand this, that, and everything, but in today's gaming world where it's all about online, sadly, you know, two-player games are kind of a must. At least that's what I believe. Okay, the bad is done, so we're moving on to the good. So what was good about this game? What did I like, you know? Well, other than, like, you know, it's a hack and slash. It's classified as an action game, but it's also just a hack and slash as well. You know, it's very easy to pick up, and it's also fun. The learning curve is easy, and You know, playing as some of the characters, they're just ripped right from the show in terms of the way they speak and the way they fight. I mean, to me, that's pretty impressive. Especially playing as Shunsui Kyoraku. I figured he would have been my best character, and I was right. He is, like, my favorite character. I love using him. He's my favorite character in the show, too. He's just got 2 awesome zanpakutos. His laid-back attitude, you know, it's just great. It reminds me a lot of myself, you know. It's, except for the whole drinking thing. I don't drink, and he drinks excessively. Second off, each character fights differently, and some bosses and enemies you fight are easier or tougher to deal with, depending on the character you choose. Like this clip here. I'm playing as Ressurecion, and she's going up against Baragon. That's pretty much suicide. I mean, because, you know, she's up close personal, and you can't be like that with Baragon because of how he represents old age and death. Anything. Ressurecion has virtually no attacks that can hurt him from a distance, or that are strong enough anyway. So, yeah, I mean, you know, it's just, it all depends. You gotta choose the right character for the job, because it makes a difference. It can make a battle easier, or it can turn the tides, and you're gonna be sore from an ass kicking. And third off, this game is just fun. While you may not know or care about Bleach, and maybe you just like a good old-fashioned action game with hack-and-slash element to it, this game is worth it. I mean, Bleach is a game that doesn't feel like it gets old sometimes, despite its pretty big setbacks, but it's just a game that anybody can just pick up and start enjoying. I mean, if you're an anime fan too, it's probably easier as well. Yeah, like I said, it's just a game you can pick up and just have a blast with. So, is this Bleach game worth a buy? Well, if you got the $60 to blow, yeah, it's not bad. I mean, sometimes maybe. Though it doesn't have online play or 2-player mode, it makes up somewhat anyway with its intense fighting and action and beautifully designed characters and special abilities. As with most anime games, there's going to be either a sequel or a different game in the series, much like the Dragon Ball Z and Naruto franchise games. So within a month or 2, you'll probably find this game pretty damn cheap online or at a store for like $20–30 less. So if you're looking for a game just to have fun with and just relax, this is definitely a game that you should pick up. Well everyone, that does it for the first new review of 2012. It's going to be a busy year for us gamers. Not like last year wasn't busy, especially with the last couple months of 2011. But the next 3 months, we'll be seeing a ton of new games coming out, and I'm going to be sure to try to review them. I mean, we've got Soul Calibur 5, Street Fighter Cross Tekken, Operation Raccoon City, and Resident Evil Revelations, so there's going to be a lot. So, like always, if you haven't, please subscribe to our channel, and keep up with me and my team as we deliver the news on gaming and reviews to keep you updated. Join us next week as Thief King Gamer Girl will be here to review a pretty damn new game and well-received game too, one that was long awaited for. Sonic Generations for the PS3 will be next week's episode, so everybody continue to have a happy new year, and I'll see you all next time.